Hey, Dustin Tibbetts here, financial advisor with Jazz Wealth, and today we're going to talk about the pros and cons of target date funds. If you got a minute, maybe I help you out. I show you about the target date funds. You like it, you hit subscribe. Just saying. Can you tell I've been hanging out with a friend from Jersey? Anyways, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to just draw real quickly what target date funds are on the screen, because a lot of people don't know kind of how they work, and visual is always good. So if I take this and we just do a simple little graph right here, and we do, these will be years, so we'll just call this years, and this will be risk. Here's how target date fund works. I'm going to use blue. So as you are further away from your goal in retirement, let's call this retirement over here. This is the magic age we're trying to get to. So as you're further away, you are taking more risk. As you near retirement, the target date fund should level off, and you take less risk until you get into retirement and eventually as you live your retirement years. So what happens is, as you're further away from target, of course, more risk, closer to retirement, less risk, but you choose the date of your retirement. So for example, in this example, this beautiful example, this could be someone who's far away from retirement. So what they do is they say the year, and they typically put each 5-year period. So you might say that this one is like a 2055 target date fund, meaning the person is going to retire on or about 2055, give or take a couple years. Okay, so that's a long time from now. And so as the years tick by little, the risk will start to come down. And that's essentially what a target date fund is. I mean, it's pretty much that simple. Now, each year or each quarter sometimes, they will rebalance the portfolio. So if you're like 90% stocks and 10% bonds, it may go 89 and then 11 or something like that, little by little. Each target date fund is different. So that's the idea of a target date fund. Now, you always select the year. No one is going to do it for you. If this happens to be in your 401k, then you are the specific one that is saying, okay, I'm a 2055, or hey, when I get 65 years old, it might be 2035, or whatever it may be for your age. So you're going to pick it. Now, do you have to pick the year that you retire? For example, let's say you are going to retire in 15 years. Let's go 20 years to make it simple. So in 20 years, that would be closer to 2038, but we don't have an 8, we do it in 5s. So we'd say 2040 would be the appropriate target date fund for you, or at least that's what they tell you. So what you could do is say, well, I would like to play catch up. I'd like to be more aggressive. You could actually go and invest some in the 2055 and some in the 2045. There's nothing that says you have to pick one target date fund. Now, I told you I'd give you the pros and cons, so let's do it. Let's go pros and cons of these target date funds. And as soon as I use up all of this chalk, I will be flipping this board over to a whiteboard because it's really starting to make a mess. Anyways, target date funds, first of all, are not for everybody. It is definitely something that you want to be sure it suits you. It's something that fits your mindset and what you're trying to go for. Who do they fit? They really generally fit people that are less interested in understanding the overall investments. So if you're interested in them, I will go over a few things. First of all, one of the pros of a target date fund is it's very simple. They're easy to understand. I just drew a graph. It was really clean, right? It was so good. You hit the subscribe button. I know you did. You loved it. You saw it. Couldn't get enough of it. That's one of the pros of target date funds. Look, that's the goal. That's the goal of them, is to make them very, very simple so that the average person that could care less about their investments, they really don't want to put any effort into it. They don't want to learn. They're not here watching this YouTube video. It's so easy that all they have to do is go, well, I'm going to retire around this age. Pick that age on the thing and they're good to go. So that's the first one. The second one is it's hands off. If you're more of a set it and forget it kind of a person, it is a hands-off investment that is managed for you over the time. I don't like that so much, but I'm a little biased, right? Because I know what I want to invest in. I eat this stuff up. So for our customers at Jazz Wealth, I will try to direct them out of the target date fund, because we can actually talk about how specifically do you want to invest. If you want to invest aggressively, then let's find other funds in the program that can make that happen, hopefully for less cost, or even better than what the target date fund is doing. So I'm kind of against it, but I have nothing against people that say, look, I don't know much, I don't want the help, I just never learned or whatever, and they want the simple hands-off approach. Of course, that is cool. And the last thing I want to put on there is it's an automatically rebalanced portfolio. I'll just go like this, you get the point. Automatically rebalanced, and what that means is that, remember that graph, as you go along your life, the risk is slowly going to be drawn out of it. Well, it's supposed to be. It's going to be slowly drawn out of it little by little. So some of the cons, or we'll just say the negatives of target date funds, no customization. So you get no custom sort of approach to what you're doing. And that might not matter to you, but what happens if you retire early and your target date fund is taking more aggressive risk? What happens if your life is a little bit different and you view your finances a little different than a target date fund does? Doesn't matter. You're not going to be able to customize that. I have many investors, actually a couple that I'm thinking of right now that are really good at saving. They've got their 401k, they've got their IRAs and some taxable accounts, but because of that, they don't need a certain target date fund in their 401k. It would be too much risk for them. So we're able to actually look over everything and go, okay, now because of this, you want a target date fund that's maybe a little less if you really have to have one, or let's go ahead and customize a portfolio for you in your 401k or whatever it may be. So lack of customization for you in particular. May not matter to everybody, but for you in particular. Here's a big one. I'm just going to put this as, this will be just my final one. We'll keep this video short. Risk. Fidelity, Wells Fargo, Prudential, and American funds. If you have a target date fund with any of those, I'm not trying to scare you into coming and thinking of us at Jazz Wealth. I'm trying to scare you into doing something else if you have the option to do it. Those companies, in addition to a few others that I just disagree with, but they're not doing anything wrong, those companies I just named have been busted. They have been pressured by regulators to take less risk in their target date funds, because what's happened over the last few years, well, last 9 years, is those funds have slightly underperformed. Not all of them, but they've slightly underperformed. And so what they've done in those target date funds without your permission, totally legal, is they've been taking excess risk in your target date funds. That will come back to hurt you. I'm not saying you won't do well in the end. What I'm saying is you will notice a greater drawdown in your account when the markets do fall. So this graph here that we saw, this is the normal sort of path, the glide slope into retirement. A lot of those funds at those companies are doing this. They're on this path to retirement, to take way more risk, more and more, and actually some of them have adjusted, so you see this. They've adjusted in the short term to take on more risk. So I do bring it up a lot, and I'm certainly hopeful that you'll keep us in mind at Jazz Wealth, but if you find that your target date fund has increased their risk or is taking too much risk, just do something with it, right? If I can help, that's fine, but if you want to use us, great. If you have to go somewhere else, if you can, go ahead and go somewhere else. So we'll wrap it up with this. Who should choose target date funds? Are you someone that should choose? Oh, brother, there's chalk everywhere. Are you someone that should choose target date funds? Well, look, without sounding condescending or sort of trying to put you down here and make you feel bad, if you're the type of person that has only watched this one video and this is all you care about and you're going to just forget about your target date funds or whatever, you don't want to do research, you don't want to learn, you don't want to have an active participation in your investments, a target date fund is for you. And I'm not trying to say it like, I don't want to say it negatively, but if you're that super hands-off person, the kind of person that just calls an air conditioning company and says fix it, doesn't ask questions, calls a whatever mechanic or whatever it is, says I don't care, I don't want to learn anything about it. And there are people like that, that's okay. The target date fund is for you. If you're the type of person that believes in the old school method of investing, there's nothing wrong with it, the traditional approach, then target date funds are for you for sure. And if the target date fund or that account is not your only source of retirement income, then you can consider a target date fund as well. And that's about it. Pretty much straightforward there. I hope that helps. I hope you found that interesting. Leave me a comment below. If I helped you in any way, you decided to hit the subscribe button, let me know. I love hearing from new subscribers, and appreciate everything you do for us. Talk to you soon. See, the problem with budgeting is all of the financial gurus out there, all of the blogs just give you general advice, get you all pumped up to go budget, and then you get going and you have no idea where to start. Let's talk about the big ticket items that can financially ruin you if you don't know how much to spend and how much to budget on them. Emergency funds, retirement savings, this is a class about specifics. We are not going to motivate you. I am not going to inspire you. I'm going to educate you on exactly what you need to do with your budget, with these big ticket items and the big portions of your budget, so that you and your family never stress about budgeting your money again. If you sign up before June 8th, then we're giving you lifetime access to Nest Egg, our personal financial portal where you can get your dough straight. Everything in your financial life, including your budget, can be seen on this portal. And best of all, we do not sell your information like Mint or some of the other apps. It is 100% yours, customizable to you. Again, if you want to be motivated, you want to be inspired, then this is not the class for you. If you want details and specifics about what to do the second you finish with this class, well, then I hope to see you there.